Has anyone ever gone with a female streetwalker? How did you end up there, and do you regret it?
Experience 1. Back in like 2015, I saw an ad on Craigslist for Charity Banks. At the time, I really enjoyed her acting skills, and she was only asking $300 for an hour or something, so I thought, why not? We met at a Starbucks, and it really was Charity Banks. I was nervous as hell. It was my first time paying for it. She took me to her room in a hotel nearby and asked me to leave the donation in the bathroom. She came out naked and she started kissing me. Up to that point, I hadn't been with a girl with implants before, and when I felt them, they were hard as a rock. Then I noticed all the bruises on them and on her thighs. All I could think about were all the other dudes who had probably been there before me. My midsection melted like ice cream on a hot day. I was embarrassed and explained my embarrassment and how it was my first time doing something like this, blah blah. She was super sweet about it. We just hung out the rest of the time and talked. I learned that day that I couldn't be an adult video star and I didn't like paying for intercourse. Experience 2. Yes, first experience. I saw the most beautiful female streetwalker in the red light district in Amsterdam, walked past, but couldn't stop thinking about her. Unfamiliar with the area, I then spent over an hour trying to find her again. Once I found her, I went in and discussed the price, etc. I stripped off. She got on the bed and asked if I wanted an butthole massage. I thought this was a little aperitif and so agreed. She then proceeded to ram her finger up my arse and started vigorously thrashing it about. I'd never had anything shoved up my arse and did not like this sensation one bit. I told her to stop and can we move on to intercourse. She then got pissed off and acted as if I wanted that instead of intercourse. Once we'd straightened that out, she started to wank me off to get me hard. All this stress had left me unable to get fully hard, so acting pissed off again, she told me that intercourse is impossible and she will give me hand relief while hovering over my head. Once this was over and I got out of there, within 15 minutes I started to get a burning cystitis feeling where I felt I needed to pee, but I was lost in the city. I spent the next 2 hours wandering around in agony trying to find my hotel and the next hour on the toilet trying to squeeze about 2 ml of piss out of my bladder. 0 out of 10. Experience 3. I hired an escort to try to lose my virginity. I wasn't really attracted to her, and I was nervous. Couldn't get it up. She was nice about it, still took my money, of course. She gave me a huge hickey, so my roommates and coworkers at least thought I had some game. I ended up losing my V the old-fashioned way, with an actual girlfriend, a few months later. Never regretted hiring the escort, taught me the importance of having an actual connection with someone when it comes to intercourse. Edit, wow. Been commenting and occasionally posting for 15-ish years and got more upvotes in the last 48 hours than all that crap combined. Neat. Wish I had grimier, yet wholesome anecdotes. Thanks, everyone. Experience 4. Was in Amsterdam and had an Airbnb right by the red light district. My friends helped me pick her out. It was awkward though. I'd much rather sleep with a woman who likes me over a female streetwalker. Experience 5. Kind of. I went into the back room with a girl at a strip club and got a blowjob. It just made me realize I have less than zero interest in being sexual with people I don't know. A valuable bit of insight about myself, but an uncomfortable lesson to learn. Experience 6. Similar to another top comment I have, and it wasn't intentional, however she paid me at the end of it. I was out at a karaoke bar in Vegas with my cousin, and this good-looking girl comes up to me and was like, buy me a drink. I was a little intoxicated as well, so I said, screw it, why not? Let me back up a little. Before going out to this karaoke bar, I and my cousin got the spiciest Thai food that night, and man, my stomach was not happy with me, but I still went out anyway. Now fast forward to buying that drink. This girl gets a double vodka something and just straight chugs this drink. I was like, damn, she isn't messing around. She looks at me and says, want to go to my place or yours? I figured if I said yes to hers, I'd wake up without a kidney, so I said mine. We go back to my hotel and get it on, and she immediately starts eating my ass. This is the first time anyone's done this, and I was thinking, man, with what I ate tonight, she's a trooper. But I'm drunk, so I'm not going to say anything, haha. We continue and start having intercourse, and this is about the last thing I remember. I'm pretty sure she roofied me while going for my ass, because I woke up the next morning all tucked into my bed, and I guess at some point my cousin came back to the room. I look over, he's asleep in the bed next to me, and I'm waking up still very drunk or drugged, and the girls are gone. I immediately look for my wallet, because that's what I assumed is gone. Well, my wallet's moved, and all my credit cards were gone as I suspected. I instantly looked at my bank account and noticed there were $2,000 in charges at a nearby casino. I call my bank instantly and get this poor young girl. I'm still drunk, so I tell her everything and all the details of what took place and what led up to it. She responds with, "Sir, no one would make this story up, and we will refund you the money instantly," and no crap, after I hang up the phone, I looked at my bank account and the money was in the refund process. I'm fairly certain they used this as a training recording for their call center, lol. Anyways, fast forward a little bit, me and my cousin are starting to get ready for the day, and he goes,
"Hey, were you playing slots in XXX Casino tonight?"
I was like, "Now why?" And he was like, "There's a $100 voucher in the bathroom." Well, no crap, this girl left her casino voucher in my bathroom, and I cashed it, so all in all I made $100 that night and got refunded everything from my bank, so I think I got paid that night. Experience 7. I did it in Prague and don't regret it at all. She looked just like Kate Silverton, who used to read the news on BBC News 24. Edit: I didn't know about the whole lady drink thing, so when they served me my 50p pint and her 60-pound mini bottle of champagne, my eyes nearly popped out on stalks. Experience 8. I once did. It was a response to discovering my wife's affair with a colleague. Seeking revenge, I visited a professional. Given our years of unsatisfactory intimacy, I felt justified. The experience was surreal, filled with nerves and adrenaline. I hadn't slept the night before. Meeting her, young and compassionate, I found solace in our conversation. She listened, comforted me, and we eventually engaged in brief intimacy. Overall, it was oddly relieving. She was the epitome of professionalism and kindness. I've never repeated the experience, preferring to cherish it as a unique memory. Experience 9. Many. I wanted to just find out what that experience was like, given I wasn't going to normally anytime soon. Don't regret it, because instead of disappointing many women, I get to pay women for that time and only disappoint myself with my fast performances. Experience 10. I had a friend who got into the lifestyle. She was a mess, emotionally. She was hella smart and articulate. Never asked her how she got into it. I never cared. She got killed by a client one day. I was heartbroken. A bit more about us is that we spent a lot of time together. Yes, we had intercourse, quite a bit. We would play dice and cards. We would lay around and talk about crazy stuff. We would also go watch the Red Wings at Joe Louis. I could honestly say that I did love her, and I believe she did me, as we all. I never regretted being with her. I only wish that I would have tried harder to stay with her. She was a good person, and despite her lifestyle, I cared more about her than what she did. I feel like I dropped the ball. Experience 11. I did one time. Never again. It was not a good experience. I was young, in the army, and fresh out of basic training. Like the first weekend we were allowed off base, I think. I was single, living in Georgia, and didn't know anyone. I was so drunk, and a guy I had met in basic who had the same MOS came up to me with 2 girls and told me they wanted to party with us. I remember getting like $60 out of an ATM and the 4 of us going to a hotel room. I was nearly blackout drunk. I know I had issues getting hard. I was wearing a condom, and I remember the girl trying to give me a BJ with the condom on and thinking how that must taste bad, lol. I did screw her with my sort of flaccid midsection, but I never finished, and I'm sure it did nothing for her. The four of us were in the same hotel room, but we were on different beds, and I remember faking finishing because the guy I was with had finished and they were awkwardly watching me. That was like 20 years ago. I don't even remember what the girl looked like. I couldn't even tell you her ethnicity. Experience 12. No, but I was once paid for intercourse. Some random cougar picked me up in a bar and asked me to her room. We got down to it and had a pretty good time. She was very appreciative, and when we'd done, I tried cuddling, but she upped and started to go to the bathroom. As she did, she reached for her purse, pulled out 200 pounds, and told me to tell the barman he was right and to piss off now. Experience 13. I dabbled with a few back in the day. I was in a bad place emotionally. Only ever with one girl for 8 years, and she passed away. My buddies and I went to Vegas, and I ended up chatting up a really nice and extremely hot girl at a bar, and of course, she was an escort. First time in 2 years I was interested in a girl and was horny, so screw it. Took her to our suite at the Palms, the one with a basketball court in it, and she asked if I wanted her to invite a friend for a threesome. Duh. Cost me $2,000, plus about another $1,000 in substances and alcohol, and probably expelled a quart of jizz that evening. I was also in ecstasy, so it was euphoric. We were snorting Molly and cocaine off all of each other's body parts. Ain't never had intercourse like that before. Then back home we were at a strip club, and I fell hard for a cute little blonde girl named Camille. We ended up seeing each other a lot. By the end she wasn't charging me money, and it was starting to feel like a relationship, so I bolted because I was starting to get jealous and anxious about her job. She had the perfect butthole, is what I remember best about her. I ended up marrying my childhood best friend when I moved back to my hometown. I was living in the city, living that wild life, and thankfully my dad came and dragged me back home when he saw the state of my apartment, substances, booze, etc. I live a pretty normal life now with my wife and daughter. Experience 14. My dad dated an escort when I was a kid. Weird times. Her dad nearly killed him with an axe and ran him over. I don't know how the intercourse was. Edit. This blew up, so I turned off notifications. If this thread can help you work through your problems, then please feel free to respond. It's been a difficult day with tons of difficult emotions. For those who tried to sincerely help, thank you. Edit 2. Turns out you can turn off Reddit cares. I did. I've gone to therapy and been kicked out because I need intensive outpatient therapy. I've been hospitalized twice too. The first time was because I tried to live like I was the only person who mattered, and apparently, I was delusional and a threat to myself. I'm not the only person who matters if I matter at all. I did waste a lot of time afraid to leave my room though. Edit 3. Sorry for saying anything. I changed my notifications and settings. If I need to, I'll turn off chat and messaging too. This isn't helping me. It's just triggering me so badly that working out isn't helping. Good to know how different and depressing things have been for me. Needed it for sure. Edit 4. I took the ACEs test as someone recommended and got 8 out of 10. It's 10 out of 10 if you extend to coworkers, classmates, and close friends. So at least even if I don't end myself, I probably won't live a long life anyway. So, there's that to look forward to at least. Experience 15. Was on Tinder as usual, bored and horny. We match and she comes clean that she's a working girl and charges a lot. I figured screw it, she was hot and seemed like a normal person, and she literally lived 5 minutes from me. I don't like the saying, well, all men pay for it in some way, as I think that's a dig at women for most men. I've heard it from. But honestly, her price was equal to or less than the cost of what I would have spent taking her out to eat trying to get her the regular way. Intercourse was awesome. Afterwards, I guess she clocked that I'm somewhat of a normal person myself, and we just got to talking. I ended up asking her about and learning a lot about intercourse work that day. She actually seemed to really enjoy the lifestyle she chose for herself. Said that she would probably eventually stop, but she's also found men in the past who are 100% okay with dating her knowing what she does, normal, attractive, mid to high income men. She showed me pictures, not whatever stereotype you'd think of a guy that would be okay with that, plus or minus 7. After we chatted for a bit, I said I should get going. She offered to let me shower and stay longer if needed, but I declined. She then offered to smoke me out, which I did not decline. Not going to lie, it was a slight self-esteem boost. Most working girls would want the guy gone ASAP was my assumption. We chatted a bit more, made out, and then I left. She let me know to hit her back up if I ever wanted her services again, but also if I ever just wanted to hang out. We've hung out a couple of times since then, but I haven't paid for anything since the first encounter. Honestly, if it wasn't for the shoddiness and creepiness usually coming from both sides, and if there were more normal, less sketchy women doing it, I would probably seek it out on occasion. I have never had trouble getting laid, and I'm in a relationship now where we have great intercourse all the time, so please don't think I only enjoyed it because I couldn't get anything else. It was fun and hassle-free, and we both got what we wanted out of it and went about our day after.
We hope you enjoyed listening to today's stories. If you want to see more stories, check out these videos or check the links in the description for more videos. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And ring that notification bell.